Hey everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather, and today we're doing shawarma. Now, what is shawarma? I am so glad that you asked, because I didn't really know what shawarma was until probably about 2 years ago. Probably maybe about the time the Marvel movies came out. Maybe that was more than 2 years ago, I don't know. With the COVID year in there, my timelines are all screwed up. Anyway, so what is shawarma? Shawarma is an Arabic dish that is typically a lamb that is roasted on a spit and then sliced really thinly and put into a pita or some kind of a tortilla with a salad and maybe some rice and other stuff. But today we're going to do a shawarma bowl. Now, why are we doing a shawarma bowl? Well, because it sounded good, and that's why we're doing it. And we're not gonna do lamb, we're actually going to do chicken. Also, we're gonna use the rotisserie basket of the deluxe air fryer to do our shawarma, because all of the recipes that I saw for shawarma in the air fryer said you need to shake your basket several times, you need to turn your pieces, you need to do this, several times during the cooking. And I thought, well, I have a basket that will turn it itself, so I'm just gonna try it like that. I don't know if it's gonna work. That's part of the adventure. I do know though that shawarma is delicious, so this should be a win regardless of how you play this. So if you have a regular air fryer, you're just gonna wanna put your pieces on and then just turn them a couple times during cooking to make sure they kind of all get crispy and brown on all the sides. If you have a deluxe air fryer, let's do this. Let's put it in the basket and see what happens. I'm excited. I hope you are too. And this is a really, really, really easy recipe. 5 or 6 ingredients and then some stuff. You'll see. You ready for this? Let's go. Okay, so this recipe is really, really easy. It takes 5 minutes to throw together, 15 minutes in your air fryer, and boom, your dinner is done. If you have an Instant Pot or something like that, you could also do your rice in the Instant Pot in just a couple minutes, or if you'd like to make it keto friendly, you could use cauliflower rice and it would be brilliant. So the first thing we want to do is cut our chicken into bite-sized pieces. I've already done that step because I was prepping for the week's meals, and so I cut it up whenever it comes out of the Costco packages, so it's already ready to go because I knew I was gonna do shawarma. So there's 2 things you can do for this. You can just mix all of your ingredients in your Ziploc bag, or you can use a food sealer. If you use a Ziploc bag, you will need to let it sit and marinate for at least 30 minutes, but you can let it marinate overnight. So if I had been thinking clearly, which obviously I wasn't, I should have poured all of my seasonings in the bag after I cut it and then stored it in the refrigerator until today when I was ready to use it. However, hindsight's 2020. Take that tip from me and we'll use the food saver, because then the food saver will just suck it all in and then we can use it immediately. It's a little bit of a waste of a bag since I have a bag here and a bag there, but what you're gonna do, right? All right, and the spices we are gonna use are oregano, cumin, coriander, salt, allspice, and cinnamon. We're also going to need a little bit of oil. All right, so if you are just using your bag, you are gonna go ahead and open it up. You are gonna put your oil right inside, and then you are going to pour in your spices and then massage the bag. However, since we are using the food sealer, let's get the food sealer bag ready. All right, and I'm gonna use my food saver. This is the FM 5000 series, and what I love about this saver is that it has 2 different sealing strips. I don't know if other sealers have 2 sealing strips, but this one is, I just super love it. So the first sealing strip is down here at the bottom. Our bag comes out the bottom, and this bag is already sealed because I sealed it a little bit earlier before I was like, oh shoot, I'm doing a video on this. We need to just go ahead and get set up and do a video, because sometimes life is like that. So I sealed the bottom, but I'm gonna pull out enough bag for my chicken, and then I'm gonna cut across it. If I was gonna seal it, I have a little sealing handle right over here, and I just twist it. I'll show you how that works. So this little handle right here, you twist backwards and it seals the bag on the bottom. And then once the light goes off, it's all sealed. And then as you can see, you pull it out and there's your seal right there. Can you see that? perfect seal every time. And the bags store back here in the back of this machine, and I absolutely love this design. This is my second food sealer. The first one had a couple issues. This one has given me 0 issues. It has been fantastic. And some people have asked me about my bags. I do use aftermarket bags, so I buy them on eBay or on Amazon. If you're interested in that link, I will leave it in the info of this video, but you literally just Google it and it pops up, but I'll leave it there for you. Okay, so let's put our chicken right inside. Careful not to get it on the cusp of my bag. The cuff. Words are hard today. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put in about 2 tablespoons of oil per 1 pound of chicken. I have about 2 pounds of chicken in here, so I'm gonna eyeball about 4 tablespoons of oil, give or take. The oil is really there so that so it will cling to everything and make it a little crispier as it goes. If you're not using a food saver bag, just put the oil, like I mentioned, inside of your Ziploc bag. Alternately, you can put it in a bowl and stir it all up together and then put it in the refrigerator. Whatever works for you is whatever's your jam, you do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our spices in. So there's our allspice, our kosher salt. Now, a lot of people have asked me outside of videos, what's the difference between kosher salt and regular salt? Kosher salt is actually larger and there's less of it per square inch. So if you were to put, a teaspoon of kosher salt in some water and a teaspoon of table salt in water, the table salt would be 2 times as salty, which is why when a recipe calls for kosher salt and you use table salt, sometimes your dish is a little wonky. That's why. So if something asks for kosher salt, if you don't have it, half your table salt and you'll be golden. That was kosher salt, however, so we're all good. All right, now we're gonna put in cinnamon. Now, there are a lot of people who question putting cinnamon in chicken, but let me tell you what, first time I had cinnamon in chicken was in South Dakota in Ellsworth Air Force Base a long time ago, and oh my goodness, it was a Greek chicken. It forever changed my life. I had no idea that cinnamon could go on chicken and it could taste that good. So, believe me when I tell you, cinnamon belongs in this recipe. Coriander, cumin, and oregano. Now, before you seal the bag, very important, before you seal the bag, we are going to massage it. We are gonna give it a spa day and get the marinade all over all of the pieces because you really want it touching everything. So, we're just gonna massage it all around. And if you feel like you didn't get enough oil in, Heather, put some more oil in there. Because it really should be a nicely coated. And of course, since I eyeballed it, maybe I shouldn't have eyeballed it. Hindsight's 20/20, but hey, you know what? I'm gonna use a pair of tongs because I feel like I wanna make sure that all of that is in all the places. And there was a couple spots where it looked like the chicken was like still white and pale and there was no spices on it, and that would be no good, especially when it goes into the air fryer and I don't see it again until it's done. All right, let's seal it now. Into the food saver this is gonna go. So I'm gonna lift up the channel right here. Let's get you a better view. Here we go. We're gonna lift up the channel right here and we are gonna put the food saver bag into the machine smooth side up. There are 2 sides to this bag. There is a kind of rough side and there's a smooth side. Always put smooth side up. We are going to stick our bag into the channel and then we are gonna shut the lid like this and then we're gonna press once. And then we're gonna watch the food sealer do the rest of the work. Sucking all that marinade into our meat. Beautiful. Perfect. Perfect. Now, I've just saved myself tons of time because I don't have to wait 30 minutes now. It's ready to go right now. Alternately, if you were not ready to cook this right now, you could just seal it, put it right into your refrigerator, and then it would be ready to go for the next time that you want to use it, which it should stay in the refrigerator for as long as the package said it was good. So if your use by date was like, you know, tomorrow, you should probably use it by tomorrow. And yes, my food saver machine does sit on my counter 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because I use it a lot. We buy things at Costco or in bulk, or we buy whole animals and need to portion them out. You know, it's something you do. Okay, so let's get on to the next step. We're gonna open our basket and we are gonna go ahead and get it right in. Now, until this moment, I didn't think about the fact that it was marinated and it was gonna go through, probably because of the oil, so let me grab some parchment. Okay, but before we put it in, let's go ahead and get our rotisserie function started on the air fryer, just so that we can start to warm up the insides. There's a lot of debate on if you actually need to preheat your air fryer or not. I'm in the camp of it doesn't matter if the recipe says so, I'm gonna do it. So I don't know the science behind it, but it makes sense to heat it up, but some recipes say don't heat it up, so just follow your directions and you should be good to go. So since this is the deluxe air fryer, we're actually going to turn it to rotisserie, which is actually, no, we're not, because that's too high of a temperature. So here's a good little thing here. Rotisserie on the deluxe air fryer is only 400 degrees. However, we want to cook this chicken at 350, so I will show you how to get around that and still use the air fry rotisserie function on your machine. So instead, we are going to hit custom. We are going to set our timer for 17 minutes. That way we can preheat for about 2 minutes, and then we'll have 15 minutes left on the machine, which is about the time this should be done. It's somewhere between 12 to 15 minutes, okay? So we're going to hit, make sure it's on 350 and push go. Now, if you didn't do anything else to the machine, this is not a rotisserie machine right now. It is still just an air fryer. However, we have a button over here that says rotate. When I click that button, that will start rotating the basket on the inside. I'm not going to click it yet though, because my basket is not inside yet, and I don't need it to rotate until my basket's in there. Does that make sense? I hope so. At the halfway mark, it will beep at me telling me that it's been my halfway point. If you were doing it on the baskets, you would then need to, you know, make sure you rotate the basket so that you get even browning. All right, now it's time to get our chicken shawarma into our basket. So I'm just going to pile this in there, because as it cooks, it's actually going to move around the basket, because there's only about 2 pounds of chicken thighs in here. You could use chicken breasts or anything, any cut of chicken that you really want. We prefer chicken thighs in this household because of the dryness factor, if you know what I'm saying. I've made some good chicken breasts before, and they're fine, but my family is super picky about chicken. So, chicken thighs it is. Okay, so when you install your basket into the machine, make sure that you're installing it so that your flap opens up like this. That way, when you're checking it in a little while, it will be easily accessible once it rolls around to the right spot. Then it will just flap open in the machine, kind of like this. See, we're gonna pretend it's in the machine like that, and then we're gonna use our gloved hand to open it and check the temperature and check the doneness of our food without having to remove the whole basket. If you put it in like this, it's very difficult to check the temperature of your food because the top of the machine stops there. So then you'll risk burning your hand this way. And sometimes, once in a while, I have been known to accidentally install it upside down. And when I go to check it, the meat is so close to the clip right here that it actually falls out of the machine. So if you just make sure, take an extra second to install it this direction, you'll be a happy camper and you won't get burned. I happen to get burned a lot because I make silly mistakes. So I'm trying to learn as I go, trying to pass forth my knowledge, but it's just something that I do now. Okay, let's get it in there. So I'm gonna take my little lifter tool here. All right, so we're gonna cancel. We're gonna push custom and rotate 15 minutes, 350, and go. There we go. And I guess I'll see you back here in about 15 minutes when this is all done and we're ready to throw the shawarma bowl all together. All right, see you back here. The timer's up. Let's get this out, check the temperature, and get it going. Oh yeah, that looks fantastic. All right, check out that beautiful chicken. Oh my goodness, let's check some temps. Looks like we have reached temp, so these are done. So I'll put back on the glove because no burning myself today, and we are gonna pour out this chicken for you to see. Look at that beauty. That is some good looking chicken. So now how do we put together the shawarma bowl? Really easy. We are gonna put some washed mixed greens in our bowl, kind of like a bed. So this is gonna be like the bottom of the bowl. And then we're gonna put some of our rice right on top. All right. And now let's put a little bit of our chicken on the side of the bowl. Oh, smells so good. Look at that. Oh, okay. And now we are gonna add some olives on one side because we want it to be aesthetically pleasing, and some tomatoes and some cucumber. And now we're gonna top it with our tzatziki dressing. Now, I know some of you are gonna be like, hey, where's the tzatziki recipe? I actually bought tzatziki sauce today, but I know for a fact it's easy to make. I've made it 100 times, but today I was feeling kind of lazy. But tzatziki sauce is actually just cucumber, salt, vinegar, oil, Greek yogurt, and some pepper. And you mix it all together and it's really good. You have to let it sit overnight to really get those flavors in together. There is a ton of tzatziki recipes out there. You find the one that you love and you go with it. But today we're just gonna use the store-bought kind because, just because. So I'm just gonna drip it right in the center here. And oh my word, this looks fantastic. All right, and now we are gonna taste and see how delicious this is. And I wanna get a little bit of everything in there. So a little bit of tomato, a little bit of olive, a little bit of the shawarma, and we're gonna stuff it in our mouth. That's a big bite. Oh dear, bite's no smaller. Okay, we'll just, I'm sorry. Oh, you guys, if you like shawarma and you have a deluxe air fryer, man, oh man, this is some good stuff. Oh, it has those perfect flavors that you're looking for. You have the tzatziki sauce there, you have the crunchy vegetables, you have the really soft and tender and spicy meat, but it's not like spicy as in hot spicy, it's just spicy as in really good spicy. It is so, so good. You can really taste the cinnamon. Oh, it's so good. If you have a deluxe air fryer and want to try this in your rotisserie function, you will not be sad. If you like shawarma, I mean, obviously, I'm not Arabic. I don't know really how to make shawarma, but dang, this is good. So if you're gonna try it, leave me a comment and tell me how it goes. Otherwise, you guys, that's it for me. I'm gonna get off here so I can feed my family and they are gonna enjoy this shawarma bowl just as much as I'm gonna enjoy it in about 3 seconds after I push stop. Like, I'm gonna hog this down and it's gonna be delicious. And I'm not gonna be sorry because that's the way it goes. That's the adventure. I love this adventure. I love to adventure in my kitchen. And if you ever have a question or a comment, please leave it for me. I read every comment and I'm always looking for ideas. So if you have one for me, leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, that's it. That's the end of this adventure. And it was a very big success. And I will definitely be doing chicken shawarma in our air fryer rotisserie basket again, maybe soon. All right, you guys, we'll see you on the next one.